सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैस्ताङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। We are looking at the Dhyana shlokas of the Bhagavad Gita. प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्र वेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञान मुद्राय कृष्णाय गीता मृतदुहे नमः। ज्ञान मुद्राय कृष्णाय नमः। My salutations to Lord Krishna, Jnana Mudraya, who displays the mudra or the gesture of knowledge, which, as we explain, is formed when the index finger and the thumb come together to form a circle. The circle is without beginning, without end. It indicates infinity, indicates Purnatvam, or wholeness or oneness. Thus, this indicates the identity between the index finger, which represents the Jivatma, and the thumb that represents Ishvara. So, Jiveshwar Aikyam, identity between Jiva and Ishvara, meaning that the one who looks upon as himself as Jiva or a limited individual is in fact Brahman, the limitless. So this is the teaching of the Bhagavad Gita in the 18 chapters. The first 6 chapters can be said to be essentially devoted to revealing the nature of the self. The second 6 chapters can be looked upon as devoted to revealing the nature of Ishvara, and the remaining chapters revealing the identity between the two. So Mahavakya Tattvamasi. This stands for Tat, the thumb Ishvara stands for Tvam, the index finger, the Jiva, Asi stands for the identity between the two. To this Lord Krishna, my salutation. Prapanna Parijataya, who is Parijata, the wish-fulfilling creeper or the wish-fulfilling tree. Prapanna for those who have, Prapanna meaning surrendered to him. For those who have surrendered to him, Lord Krishna is the wish-fulfilling tree. And Arjuna surrendered in the right way. Surrender can be for two purposes. Surrender can be for fulfilling one's worldly desires, which also the Lord would fulfill, and surrender can be for fulfilling the fundamental desire, the spiritual desire of becoming free from all limitations. The Lord will fulfill that desire as well. In the case of Bhagavad Gita, in case of Arjuna, Arjuna surrendered to Lord Krishna with a desire for Nishreyasa, desire for moksha, and therefore that desire was fulfilled through the imparting of the knowledge of the identity between the Jiva and Ishvara, meaning revealing the fact that, hey Arjuna, you who looks upon yourself as a limited, helpless, hapless creature, on account of which you are so sad, miserable, grieving, you are not what you take yourself to be. In fact, you are the limitless. If you know your true nature, there is no scope or occasion for grief at all. Ashochan anvasochastvam. Arjuna, you are grieving over that which does not deserve to be grieved for. Namely yourself, you do not deserve to be grieved for. You are grieving for yourself, thinking that you are limited, thinking that you are a helpless, hapless creature. And that is why you cannot do what you want to do, cannot avoid what you do not want. Thus you look upon yourself helpless being. You are not. You are full, complete. You are limitless. If you knew that nature of yourself, there would be no occasion for grief at all. So, Ma Shuchaha, this scripture, Bhagavad Gita, is meant for helping the man, human being, becoming free from the grief or sadness, which is the fundamental human problem. Meaning that human being is evolved to the extent of being self-conscious, and therefore being conscious of one's own self, that I am limited. It is that perception of one's own self as a limited being is what is the cause of sadness or grief. Meaning that it is the false perception about oneself that causes the grief, and it is the true perception of oneself which will remove the grief. Thus Lord Krishna provides the true perception of the self. In that process also provide true perception of the universe, of Ishvara, and the oneness or identity of all the three. The next verse is also Sarvopanishado Gavah Dugdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsaha Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gita Amrutam Mahat. Here the Bhagavad Gita is compared to the nectar, the milk which is a nectar. It is also called milk because it is the milk from the cows. Cows in the form of the Upanishads. The Upanishads are the cows, then Bhagavad Gita is the milk which is the essence of the cows. But that milk in fact is Gita Amrutam, is ambrosia, is nectar, isko amritam because it makes free from death the person who partakes in amritam. So amritam is ambrosia or the nectar, which is a word used for the nectar that the devatas have. In the heavens, supposedly, the gods have this amritam or nectar, on account of which they are supposedly immortal. So devatas are called immortal. But immortality only in a relative sense. But the nectar of Bhagavad Gita makes us immortal in the primary sense. Immortal means completely free from mortality. Athamartyo mruto bhavati. Gaining this knowledge, the immortal becomes immortal. Meaning that the mortal realizes that in fact I am immortal. I who thought myself to be immortal is in fact immortal. So Bhagavad Gita makes us immortal. Because mortality, because death is one of the primary reasons for fear and grief. And death also stands for ignorance, also stands for sorrow. So ignorance, sorrow, death are the causes of all fear and grief for the human beings. Bhagavad Gita relieves us from that by making us understand that the self, in fact, free from death, free from ignorance, free from sorrow. It is the nature of Satchit Ananda, existence, awareness, fullness. So this nectar of Bhagavad Gita was imparted by Lord Krishna to Arjuna, who is compared to a calf. If the Upanishads are compared to the cows, then the cow gives its milk for love, out of love for the calf. And so this is the teaching out of love for the calf in the sense of Arjuna. Teaching that emerges from Lord Krishna out of love for Arjuna. Therefore we can see throughout this dialogue also the love and compassion of the teacher. Now we can continue with the next verse. The verse number 5 of the Gita Dhyanam. So whereas the verse number 4 was in praise of the nectar that is Bhagavad Gita, verse number 5 is in praise of Lord Krishna himself, who is the teacher of the Bhagavad Gita. So this verse tells us, Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. So Lord Krishna is described here, Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam. Vasudeva Sutam. Sutam means the son. Vasudeva Sutam, the son of Vasudeva. And is a very special son, because Vasudeva and Devaki, in their previous birth, had performed great penance of Lord Narayana, and Narayana appeared before them as Manu and Shatarupa. They performed great penance to please Lord Narayana. Lord Narayana appeared before them and asked them what it is that they wanted. So this couple said that we would like to have a son like you. Lord Narayana says, there is no one like me. The only way that your desire can be fulfilled is if I myself become your son. But the Lord has not quite fulfilled the desire of giving them the son like him. Therefore he says, in fact, I will be born as a son 3 times. Therefore, Lord Narayana is born as the son of this couple 3 times. And as Rama, he was born as Krishna, he is born again. Therefore, it is not an accident that Lord Krishna is the son of Vasudeva. It is the result of great penance. Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Sanyitam. Sometimes the word Vasudeva is explained as Sattvam Vishuddham. Sattvam means the mind, Vishuddham the pure mind. Mind enjoying the purity, enjoying freedom from all impurity, that mind is compared to, is called Vasudeva. Devaki Devatamai. And Devaki, the mother of Vasudeva, is full of, so is Devatamai, is like all the gods. So Devaki stands for all the gods, all the divine virtues. And Vasudeva stands for the pure heart. Meaning that when our mind also is filled with divine virtues of non-violence, truthfulness, kindness, compassion, and the mind also is pure and contemplative. Drushyate agraya buddhya sukshmaya sukshmadarshivihi. When the mind becomes subtle and single-pointed, pure, full of all divine virtues, that is when Lord Krishna incarnates. Incarnates as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. He incarnates in our own mind in the form of the knowledge of self that I am you. So thus, the incarnation can be at 3 levels: Adhidevika, Adhyatmika, Adibhautika. Incarnation can be at the cosmic level, divine level. It can be at the elemental level. It can be at the individual level. This incarnation of Lord Krishna is what we call Adibhautika, at the elemental level. Same Krishna also can incarnate in our own heart as a very knowledge. That would be the incarnation at the individual level. So Krishna stands for both Vasudeva Sutam Devam, the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, who is obtained by the grace of Lord Narayana as a result of a great penance performed. Devam. So Dyotana Devaha. Deva means one who is self-shining, self-revealing. So Lord Krishna is self-shining, self-revealing. He is the embodiment of consciousness. Vasudeva Sutam Devam. So Deva also means God, who possesses extraordinary powers and extraordinary knowledge. That sense also, Lord Krishna is a Deva. We will discuss later. Understand that as incarnation, Lord Krishna possesses all the glories of Lord Narayana. Meaning he is omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Even though he appears in a limited form of a human being and appears like any other human being, and therefore also many have not understood Lord Krishna, and many thought of him also as an ordinary human being. And some people thought of him as a crooked person also, like Duryodhana, Shishupala, etc. Meaning that, no doubt, there was a great deal of misunderstanding about Lord Krishna. Avyaktam vyaptimagvannam manyante mam abuddhaya param bhavam ajananta. Lord Krishna also laments in the Bhagavad Gita that people think that I am just an ordinary human being and they therefore sometimes disregard me, they insult me. However, there were those devotees who knew him for what he was, nothing but the incarnation of Lord Narayana himself, the omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. So Vasudeva Sutam Devam. We'll discuss later how it is important for us to know that Krishna was incarnation of God. Nothing less than God himself. So God speaks to Arjuna. And therefore, the teaching of Bhagavad Gita also gains an additional authenticity, because this teaching comes directly from the lips of the Lord himself. Referring to some of the exploits of Lord Krishna, this verse says, Kamsa Chanura Mardanam. So those who are familiar with these stories of Bhagavatam, they know that Lord Krishna, when he went to Mathura, killed this Kamsa and Chanura. Chanura was a great wrestler, and he challenged Lord Krishna and he killed Chanura. And Kamsa, of course, was the most cruel king. In fact, he was like the uncle of Lord Krishna as far as relationship was concerned. But this person was so cruel that he was even ready to kill his own sister. Devaki, by some account, is thought to be the sister of Kamsa. And when Devaki was married, Kamsa, the brother, was so happy that he himself was driving the chariot in which Devaki was riding, very happy to marry his sister with Vasudeva. And then there was an announcement from the heavens that the eighth son of this Devaki is going to kill you. It's most amazing, at that time. At this time, when he is driving the chariot of his sister, full of joy, at that time, this divine announcement happens that the eighth son of your sister, Devaki, would be your killer. And Kamsa got angry. Right away, he caught her Devaki with her hair and was about to kill her. Did not want to wait for the eighth son to come, would kill her. And Vasudeva pleaded with her. Said, hey, you are a king. You are a warrior. It's not right for you to kill a woman. I'll promise that I'll hand over all the children to you so that there's no danger for you from the eighth son. You can kill all the children. Whatever you want, I'll hand them over to you. In any case, Kamsa imprisoned both of them, and both of them were in prison, and that is where one after the other the sons were born to Devaki. The guards would inform Kamsa about the birth of a child. He would come and kill the child. Very cruel. Like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 children were killed. 7th child was born. And as he was born, he was transplanted into the womb of the Rohini, the other wife of Nanda, and then he was born as Balarama. 8th child was Lord Krishna. So, that time again Lord Krishna is born and then is transported to Mathura, etc. And then he grows up in the home of the king of the cowherd community, Nanda and Yashoda. So, when now Kamsa knew that this boy has escaped, so therefore he sent his assistants or his warriors, who were all demons in all different directions, to kill all newborn babies. And accordingly, one demoness, female demon Putana, comes to kill this child Krishna also, and then she in process gets killed. And many other demons also come one by one, but then they all get killed by Krishna anyway. So this is how Kamsa terrorized all his subjects. And the people were terrified of him. And then Krishna is invited to Mathura, and Kamsa wants to kill him anyway, but anyway Krishna ultimately kills Kamsa. So Kamsa and Chanura, that wrestler, both of these are killed by Lord Krishna. So Kamsa Chanura Mardanam, the one who is the destroyer of Kamsa and Chanura. At the Adibhautika level. Adhyatmika level, Kamsa and Chanura can be said to stand for Raga and Dvesha. So Lord is the destroyer of Raga and Dvesha, attachment and aversion. Or he is the destroyer of the ignorance and also the ego born of ignorance. Because in the 10th chapter will be told, Lord Krishna says in the 10th chapter of the Gita, that my devotees who worship me totally out of love, expecting nothing from me, out of compassion for my devotees, I, who resides in their hearts, light the lamp of knowledge in their hearts and destroy the darkness of ignorance. And thus I reveal myself as their own self. So this is how Kamsa Chanura Mardanam, Lord Krishna is the destroyer of ignorance and the ego and all evils born of ignorance. And that way, Devaki Paramanandam, by destroying all the evils, Paramanandam, one who gives the great joy to Devaki. Devaki is the mother of Lord Krishna, Adibhautika level. Elemental level, Devaki is the mother of Lord Krishna. So then, after in Mathura, Kamsa is killed by Lord Krishna, naturally Vasudha and Devaki, they are all released from the prison, and that's how Devaki meets her son, and she is overjoyed, and thus Lord Krishna is the one who gives great joy to Devaki. Here in our heart, when Lord Krishna manifests as a self, when he destroys the darkness of ignorance by lighting the lamp of knowledge, when the ignorance is gone, darkness is gone, then all the inhibiting factors which veil the Ananda which is ourself, all of them are also destroyed, and the self reveals itself as Ananda. Devaki Paramanandam, one who gives the limitless joy to his devotees by destroying the darkness of ignorance in their heart and revealing himself as a self, that is Krishna. You know what, Krishna itself reveals that, the meaning. But Krishna is made up of two elements, Krish and Na. Krishir bhuvachaka shabdaha, Nascha nirvrati vachakaha, tayoreikyam sadanandaha, Krishna ityabhidhiyate. This verse explains that this word Krish is a verb which says Bhu means to be. Krish means being or to be. And Na means Ananda. So Krish and Na means Sat and Ananda, Sadananda. Tayorekyam Sadananda. So Krish and Na together means Sadananda or Satchidananda. Sadananda, eternal joy. Satchidananda, the eternal joy which is self-revealing. Satchidananda means the self-revealing eternal joy. Thus the Lord reveals Himself as the self of the devotee, as the eternal joy, and thus He is the giver of eternal joy to His devotees. Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Jagadgurum. So, He is the world. Jagat means the world. Guru means the teacher. Jagadgurum, the universal teacher. The world teacher means the teacher of the whole world. Universal teacher or the teacher who teaches the universal truth. So Lord Krishna is described as the world teacher. Thus, we like to point out here that Bhagavad Gita is not a text for only some people at some time in some situation. Not a sectarian text. Is not meant for a sect. Not a sectarian text. The truth that Bhagavad Gita reveals is meant for every human being at all times, at all places. There is nothing sectarian about this. Who is the student of Bhagavad Gita? No doubt that Bhagavad Gita is taught in a certain cultural setup. It is taught in the battle of Kurukshetra, yes. It is taught to Arjuna the prince. That also is true. So these are some of in the form of a story it is being told. And therefore the story does have relationship with the Hindu culture. But other than that, the teaching that is imparted is meant for every human being. There is nothing about Hinduism here, there is nothing about any ism at all. It teaches the universal truths. Bhagavad Gita, being one of the important texts of Vedanta, simply reveals the truths about our life. Our life has three aspects: the self, individual, the universe, and Creator or God. So Bhagavad Gita, I said earlier, reveals the truth of the individual, truth of the universe, and truth of Ishvara, God, which is applicable to everybody at all the times. What the scientists are seeking to discover, the truth of the universe, also is found here. What they call the God particle, meaning that in some way they seem to accept God. Why do they call it God particle? A scientist doesn't accept God. A creator, a sustainer, a dissolver, etc., an intelligent entity, they don't accept that. Scientist, a person would accept. But scientist, a professional would not accept. You know what I'm saying? Persons, all great scientists accept. Many great scientists accept that there has to be a principle of God. Because the discoveries of science in no way can explain the phenomenon called creation and the phenomenon called the universe. It must be the work of an all-knowing or omniscient being, intelligent being. This is what they accept in their own heart. But then it no more remains science. Nowhere you mean physics, Swami, it becomes metaphysics. So that doesn't come in the realm of science. But what Bhagavad Gita reveals, you can say, is not scientific really. Because science is a product of logic. And the truth is not the product of logic. Bhagavad Gita reveals the truth is not the product of logic. It reveals the truth which is logical. Meaning that it does not in any way contradict the logic. So the truth that Vedanta reveals does not in any way contradict science. Science is logic. So truth that Vedanta reveals does not contradict science. Science simply only confirms what Vedanta has revealed so far. And therefore the Vedanta says no problem with science, no problem with no problem with anything, as long as it is scientific. Although we may not agree with the conclusions of scientists. For example, sometimes people ask us, Swami, do you accept the theory of evolution? I said, we have to accept it. In the sense that a unicellular organism evolved to the most sophisticated organism in the human, we have to accept it. But the conclusion that the scientists would draw from that is that this whole phenomenon is the result of the natural selection. They would call it natural selection. We don't agree with that. So whereas we agree with the evolution of a unicellular organism into the most sophisticated organism, namely human being, that we accept. But it's not something that is carried out by the organism itself. This takes place according to an intelligent scheme, because it represents what we call omniscience. At every stage, it represents omniscience or all knowledge. Therefore, we accept omniscience Lord as the intelligence behind this phenomenon called creation. In that sense, the conclusion that we derive from the observation of science are different from their conclusions. But as far as accepting the observed phenomena, we have no problem. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. So Lord Krishna is Jagadguru, is universal teacher, teacher of the universe, or universal teacher, or teacher in the form of universe, also you can say. Universal teacher, only because he teaches the universal truths, not any sectarian truths. You know why? Because, again, as we'll have plenty of time to discuss all of this, but truth is something that exists. Truth is something that exists. And Vedanta teaches that the truth must be self-evident. Truth must be that which must be self-existing and self-evident. Sometimes they ask a question. If you say God created the world, please tell us who created God? The answer is, if God also is created, then God is not self-existent. Whatever is created is not self-existent. Whatever is created exists because of its cause. For example, a pot. Now we have plenty of pots, by the way, of different sizes. They all came from India, you know. Here the earlier things all disappeared. So new things are slowly coming in. So pot is a creation. Its cause is clay. Pot does not exist on its own. It exists because of clay. Take away the clay and the pot does not exist. So existence of pot is due to clay. Meaning that the existence of whatever is created is due to its cause, material cause. Similarly, if Ishvara also is created, then Ishvara's existence also would be due to its cause. It would not be self-existing. Thus, if we insist that whoever creates also must be created, when you ask the question, if Ishvara creates the world, who created Ishvara? And suppose you come up with an answer. This X entity created Ishvara. Then our question, who created that? And because the creator must be created again. If we insist that the creator also must be created, then the creator of the creator also must be created, right? And the creator of the creator of the creator also must be created. And then this is all ad infinitum. Infinite regression, meaning that this will not end anywhere. That means that there must be a creator who is not created. The ultimate creator must be one who is not created. Means what? Swayambhuhu, self-existence. That's called existence. Of which the nature is to be. Sat means existence, of which the nature is to be. What is to be? That which cannot not be, you follow? As Lord Krishna will say, na sato vidyate bhava, na bhavo vidyate satah. Of sat or exist, it cannot be that sat or existence does not exist. It is called existence, which always exists on its own. Therefore, God is existence, self-existence. How do you know that this part, is there a part in my hand? You'll say, yes. How do you say it is there? How do you say part is in my hand? How do you say? Because you see it. Because you are conscious of it. So seeing it and being conscious also go together. So Sat and Chit always go together. The existence of the part is established because you are conscious of the part. But you can be conscious of the part only if it exists. So you cannot be conscious unless it exists. And the existence cannot be proven unless you are conscious of it. Therefore, existence and consciousness always go together. And existence and consciousness have no form. They have no boundary. The Ananta, infinite endeavor, Ananda. So, Satchit Ananda. That's the nature of Ishvara. So, it's truth that which exists. Our Swamiji says, you don't have to believe in Ishvara, you don't have to believe in God, you have to understand God. Because God means truth. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Describing God, the Upanishad says God is Satyam, truth. Jnanam, awareness or intelligence. Anantam, infinite. So truth is already there, exists. Not only that, but further Vedanta teaches us that not only God is, but what is God. That means the case, God is not to be believed, God is to be understood. Only Vedanta teaches this. Lord Krishna teaches that. So teaches about the universal realities, which are applicable to everybody at all times, at all places. So this is universal teaching. Doesn't talk of a God in heaven someplace who is to be believed. Doesn't talk of going to paradise after death, which we do not again has to be believed. Talks of the moksha, the freedom, right here and now. Talks of God who is here and now, and talks of the moksha, liberation, which is here and now. It's not to be simply believed blindly, it's to be intelligently believed and understood and realized in this life. So Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. He is the universal teacher who teaches the universal truths, or teacher of the universe, of all human beings, at all times, at all places, and all conditions. Sometimes people ask this question, Swamiji, Bhagavad Gita was taught 5,000 years ago by some account. So Kali Yuga is supposed to be 3,102 years old, by the way. Or now a few years may be added, but that is the age of Kali Yuga. probably 3,252 years now, 53 years. So that is the age of Kali Yuga. That is when Bhagavad Gita is supposedly taught almost when Dwapara Yuga ended and Kali Yuga started, etc. Let's say 5,000 years. Swami, this teaching is 5,000 years old. And therefore it was relevant at that time. Is it relevant now? Answer is yes, because basically human being has not changed. He has changed as far as all the external situations are concerned. Yes, he has created lots of comfort and lots of empowerment, and human being has created great scientific strides and technological strides. No doubt about that. So today's human being is much more sophisticated than, of course, human being 5,000 years ago. No doubt about that. He will be more intelligent, more aware of his rights, and all kinds of things are there. It's true. But then today's human being also is as miserable as a human being was 5,000 years ago or 50,000 years ago. Or as miserable as the human being who will come after 50,000 years. That is the problem, or that is the reality of the human being, that he is a miserable creature. There is nobody who is as miserable as a human being in the world. He's only fellow. Nobody has any grief or sadness. Human being is a sad, grieving, miserable creature. 5,000 years ago, today, and 5,000 years from now. So Bhagavad Gita, if it teaches you going to heaven, then Vedanta will teach that heaven also will be nothing but same kind of stuff. The Upanishad says, Yatha iha karmachito lokah kshiyate evameva mutra punyachito lokah kshiyate. Just as things are very ephemeral in this world, in heaven also they will be ephemeral, changing, mortal. Nothing that is created can be immortal. And that we can never become free from mortality regardless of where you go. Brahma bhuvanan lokaha punaravartino Arjuna. Lord Krishna says that even Brahma Loka, the highest heaven, the seventh heaven, is also not free from mortality. So by going someplace you cannot become immortal. You cannot become immortal regardless of what you do. But tyagene ke amrutatvamanushu, many great sages attained immortality by knowledge, by recognizing that immortality is my nature. I am already immortal. It is a recognition of an existing fact and not something that is created. So all other traditions promise you to make you immortal. By having an eternal dinner with God or something like that. So eternality. When you go someplace, then you become eternal. Vedanta teaches that eternality cannot be created, because whatever is created is going to be mortal. Yes, it can last for a long time, but still it will be mortal. If there is something called immortality, it must be an existing fact, and that is you. That's what Vedanta teaches, and that applies to every human being, applies to every living being. A mosquito cannot understand this language, otherwise you can tell mosquito also, you are immortal, and that is equally true. You can tell this pot also, you are immortal. Not that it matters to pot. You can tell anybody you are immortal, or anybody can say, I am immortal, or discover this fact. So this is the universal fact, applicable to every human being, at any time, at any place, under any conditions. We are quite sure that in future also, human beings will not be free from sadness. Nobody can be. Because they are born ignorant. And ignorance creates in me a sense of inadequacy which causes sadness. Thus, Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. My salutation to Lord Krishna, who is a universal teacher. Teacher who teaches the universal truth, teacher whose teaching is applicable to the universe at all times and places? Or the universe also is a teacher. Jagat or the universe also is a teacher. We can learn from everything in the nature. In the Bhagavatam, there is a story of Dattatreya, a great sage, Dattatreya, who is said to have 24 gurus. So 24 is a number. I mean, how long can you go with it? The idea is that he narrates how he gained wisdom from 24 different sources. That included a bird also, that included a maid woman also, it included all kinds of things. The earth is a teacher, water is a teacher, fire is a teacher, air is a teacher, space is a teacher, sun, moon, everything is a teacher if you want to learn. And thus the whole universe is our teacher also. Krishna Mande, Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is the form of the universe, as that also is a teacher, teacher of the universe, or teacher of the universal truth. So this verse, Vande, I salute Lord Krishna. So earlier verse also talked about Lord Krishna, Vasudeva Sutam Devam, but as earlier as the Dogda Gopal Nandana. But here Lord Krishna is specifically praised and prayed to. In the 6th verse also, Lord Krishna is praised indirectly. Describes the great battle of Mahabharata. So let us read the verse number 6. Bhishma Tata Jayadratha Jala Gandhara Nilotpala Shalyagrahavati Krupena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashvathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Khalu Pandavairanadi Kaivartakah Keshavah. The last line says, Sotirna Khalu Pandavai Rananadi Kaivartakah Keshavah. Sotirna Sandhi. So what are the words involved here? Sotirna. What are the two words that are joined here to become Sotirna? The Sanskrit scholars, huh? Uttirna. Sotirna. Yes. What are the two words? Sa Uttirna. Sotirna. Sa is the adjective of what? Rananadi. Sa Rananadi Uttirna. Sa, that Rananadi. Nadi means the river. Rana means the battleground. And so, the river of battle. Rana Nadi, the river of battle. The battle is compared to a river. Very beautiful comparison given here. What battle? The battle of Mahabharata. Battle between Pandavas and Kauravas. And who won the battle? the Pandavas won the battle. What was one reason why Pandavas won the battle? Lord Krishna. We told you that story. It was not an accident that Lord Krishna happened to be on the side of Pandavas. It was a conscious choice. When Arjuna and Duryodhana, both of them went to Lord Krishna, requesting him to join their side, Lord Krishna said that, Duryodhana, you came first, therefore I should side with you. But I saw Arjuna first, therefore I should side with him also. This is very interesting. The Duryodhana first went, and he was given entrance to Lord Krishna's bedroom where he was sleeping, taking a nap in the afternoon, I guess. So Duryodhana is a king, very proud, and goes and sits on a chair towards the head of Lord Krishna. So Krishna is lying down like this. Then comes Arjuna. He also is given the entry. Arjuna is very humble and devotee of Lord Krishna, so he stands at the feet of the Lord. And Lord Krishna opens the eyes. When you open the eyes, who do you see first? One who is at your feet. Hey Arjuna, when did you arrive? So he saw Arjuna first. Duryodhana said, hey Lord, I arrived first. Okay. So both of them want to claim Lord Krishna. Krishna says, well, since you arrived first, therefore I should side with you. But I saw him first, I should side with him. Meaning that I should side with both of you. Therefore I'll give you a choice, and give them the choice. On one side will be my army, other side I'll be there without weapons, will not fight the battle, will not wield the weapon. Arjuna is younger of the two, so he is given the first choice. You choose Arjuna first. Arjuna chose Lord Krishna. Even though he would not fight the battle, even though he would not wield the weapon, would not fight the battle, and still Arjuna chose Lord Krishna, knowing fully well in his heart that the side on which Lord Krishna is definitely going to win. And therefore, he says, Lord, even if you do not fight, do not wield weapon, just be there, that's enough for us. But Duryodhana did not believe in this kind of emotional stuff. So he was happy to have the army. So it was by conscious choice that Lord Krishna was on the side of Pandavas. He was always, in the past also, was always with Pandavas. And Arjuna further requested him to become the charioteer. So Lord Krishna, the charioteer of the chariot of Arjuna. And how he skillfully maneuvered that chariot in the river of the battle to enable the Pandavas cross this terrible river, uncrossable river, non-negotiable river. Lord Krishna enabled the Pandavas to cross. Sa Uttirna Rananadi, this river of the battle, Uttirna was crossed. Sa means that terrible river of the battle. Uttirna was crossed. Why? Pandavaihi, by the Pandavas, meaning the Pandavas were able to cross that river. Kaivartaka Keshavaha. Kaivartaka, the boatman. Keshavaha was Lord Krishna. Naturally, you cross the river with a boat, and the Pandavas were able to cross the river of the battle of Mahabharata because Lord Krishna was their boatman. So, at every stage, it was because of Lord Krishna that Pandavas won variety of battles. They were able to destroy invincible enemies. and then came out victor. We'll see that after a break. Okay. So be back after about 15-20 minutes. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us recite the verse number 6. Bhishmadronatata Jayadratha Jala Gandhara Nilotpala Shalyagrahavati Krupena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashvathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Khalu Pandavai Rananadi Kaivartakah Keshavaha. Ranadi, the river of battle, the different aspects of the river are described in this verse. Bhishma Drona Tata. Tata means the bank. Bhishma Drona Tata, the river that has Bhishma and Drona as the banks. So banks are those which regulate the flow of the water. And the banks of the river are extremely difficult sometimes to manipulate and go into the river. So Bhishma and Drona, both of them are the invincible banks of the river of battle of Mahabharata. Meaning Bhishma also the invincible, because Bhishma had a blessing from his father that you will die when you want. Because Bhishma had taken a vow. His father wanted to get married to the daughter of a fisherman, and that name that girl was Satyavati, very beautiful girl. In fact, Matsyagandha, her earlier name, was the one from whom the odor of fish was emitted. But because of the blessing of the sage Parashara, she was that odor was transformed into the fragrance of musk. So thus this girl emitted the fragrance of musk. And when this King Shantanu had gone to forest for hunting or whatever, and he sensed the smell of musk coming from somewhere, attracted by that, ultimately he reached a point where this girl was there, Matsyagandha, or Satyavati, and fell in love with her, how kings are, and then proposed to her father that he wanted to get married to her. Well, any fisherman, the king wants to get married to my daughter, he says, it's a great honor. But this man was a little tough man. He says, look, you already have a son. There was Devavrata. And he will be your successor, he will get the throne after you, and not the son of my daughter. Even if my daughter gets married to you, her son will be younger than your present son, and therefore he will not qualify to be successor. So I will not give my daughter to you. Poor king had no choice. He came back home because he cannot deny the right of his son to be the successor. He came home in the palace, just lying down for days together, extremely sad, depressed. Then Devavrata, the son, asked the ministers, what has happened? And he was told that this is what has happened to your father, that this fisherman will not give his daughter to him because of this problem. Devavrata says, no problem. I will give my father the freedom to hand over the kingdom to the son of this new mother. So he goes to Satyavati, the father of that girl, Satyavati, and says to him that I take the vow that also the problem was that Bhishma also, and then even if Bhishma does not become, Bhishma's children again will vie with the children of Satyavati. He says, well, I will not have children, I will not get married. I will remain unmarried for the whole of my life. And make sure that the children of your daughter, they get the throne. So this was the vow that he took. This is a terrible vow. From then, they was called Bhishma. A man of terrible vow. He came back and told his father. Father was mighty pleased with his son and blessed him that you will be able to die when you want, death of your choice, that you can choose a time. In short, nobody can kill Bhishma. Invincible. And so was Drona. Drona was the teacher of Pandavas and Kauravas and many others. And he was also an invincible warrior. So Bhishma and Drona both were invincible. How to kill them? Lord Krishna is required in each case. All of them have history. Bhishma has a history. That he grew up to a young man, and this Satyavati had two children, Chitrangada and Vichitravirya. But the elder son Chitrangada was killed by one Gandharva whose also name was Chitrangada, whatever. So one son was left, Vichitravirya. And Bhishma heard that king of Kashi has held a Swayamvara for his three daughters. Amba, Ambika, Ambalika, three daughters he had. Swayamvara means where the princess chooses her own mate from all the princes who are connected there. Because the princesses are so famous that the princes vie for them. And so Swayamvara is held. Bhishma goes there and asks the father of these three princes, says, okay, I'll give you. He says, no, I don't want. I want them for my brother. And he somehow convinces the father and brings all the three princes here. Actually kidnaps them, basically. He kidnaps them and brings them here. And they fought with him, and they could not defeat him. Of the three princesses, the eldest, Anamba, was the most beautiful one. She revealed to Bhishma that, look, I'm already in love with another person, and therefore I have promised to get married with him. So please return me. Bhishma says, okay, I'll return you. Other two girls are married to this Vichitravirya, the prince. This girl Amba goes back to that man and says that I've come back. That king refuses to take her back. He says, I'm sorry, you're already kidnapped by Bhishma and already he has held your hand, this, that and whatnot, and you're no more acceptable to me. So Amba comes back to Bhishma and said, hey, you're responsible for creating this. You get married, you marry me. He says, I'm sorry, I've taken the vow, I can't marry anybody. So she would not want to marry with that Vichitravirya. Bhishma would not, that would not accept her. Bhishma would not marry him. She is enraged. A lot of things happen, but basically she performs a great penance and she takes a vow that I'll kill him, this Bhishma. And so in the next birth, she's born as a princess to a king. Her name was Shikhandi and so forth. A lot of things go on, And then ultimately she gets converted from female to male. Oh, the Shikhandi. This Amba, the new incarnation is called Shikhandi, was born as a girl, but then she was able to persuade somebody, some Gandharva, to exchange the sexes. So that fellow became woman, and this is going on from the time, beginning of this. All kinds of cases in the Hindu Puranas, So Shikhandi is now a man and well trained in the art of martial arts and weapons and everything. And he is part of so he is born in fact to kill Bhishma. And he is now in the battlefield of Mahabharata, and Bhishma is the first commander-in-chief of the Kauravas. For 10 days, Bhishma fights the battle. For 9 days, he fought the battle. And Duryodhana, the eldest of the Kauravas, goes to Bhishma the evening and taunts him, says, I know that you are a soft corner for these Pandavas, therefore you are not killing them. I know that. Why do you join my side? And Bhishma could not take these taunts, and he says, okay, tomorrow either I will be there or Pandavas will be there. Tomorrow you'll see my rage and I'll destroy all the Pandavas, the whole army. That day Bhishma was enraged to such an extent that even Lord Krishna felt that the Pandava armies will be destroyed completely. Bhishma is throwing his arrows and weapons, and Lord Krishna had vowed not to wield the weapon, jumps from the chariot of Arjuna, takes one wheel of the chariot, becomes the discus in his hand and rushes to kill Bhishma. Arjuna comes down and stops the Lord from doing that. And the battle again continues, and they have the Shikhandi in the front. Arjuna is behind and Shikhandi is in the front. Shikhandi also releases arrow to Bhishma, Arjuna also does. And Arjuna's arrows are very sharp and piercing the chest of Bhishma. Bhishma says to Arjuna, I know whose arrows are these. They are not Shikhandi's arrows. Your arrows I know. But I will not kill Shikhandi because she is a woman. I will not kill a woman. So Shikhandi ultimately arrows and Arjuna's arrows pierced the chest of Bhishma and he fell down. So there is in a way, Bhishma also was tricked by placing the Shikhandi in front. Naturally, Lord Krishna is behind all of this advice. And so in a way, Lord Krishna manipulated, whatever you call it, the death of Bhishma. Because Bhishma then fell and then he was in the bed of arrows for some 41 days, etc., etc. And then he gave up his life. Bhishma Drona. Drona is the teacher of Pandavas and Kauravas, also invincible. But he had one weakness for his son. Name his son was Ashwathama, whose name also comes, also a great warrior. Dronacharya had a great affection for his son, weakness for his son, and he declared that I will not continue to live if my son dies. So now, Bhishma is the commander-in-chief, Drona is commander-in-chief of Bhishma, and he also is enraged and he is destroying Pandava army. Look like Drona was unstoppable. And there is no way to kill him. So Lord Krishna says to Bhimsen, hey, go and announce in loud voice, Ashwathama hataha, Ashwathama hataha. Ashwathama is killed, Ashwathama is not killed. So the elephant whose name was Ashwathama. So Bhima kills that elephant and then declares Ashwathama hataha. Ashwathama is killed, Ashwathama. Drona heard that. He says, what? My son is killed. But since Bhimsena is announcing that, I don't believe Bhima. If Yudhishthira says that, then I will believe him. So Lord Krishna urges Yudhishthira, hey, you announce. He says, no, I won't say that. Ashwathama is the elephant, not his son. He's not killed. I won't say it. He said, you say that because it's right. Ashwathama is killed anyway. Doesn't matter which Ashwathama it is. So somehow Lord Krishna prevails upon Yudhishthira. Once in his lifetime he utters a lie. Who? Yudhishthira. Lord Krishna prevails upon him. Yudhishthira announces, Ashwathama hataha, Ashwathama hataha. Then in a fainter voice, Narova, Kunjarova. Whether it's a man or an elephant. Kunjara means elephant. Narova, Kunjarova. A man or an elephant. So in a way he told a white lie by qualifying his statement that Ashwathama, the elephant, is killed. But that was said in faint voice. And also Drona did not even wait to hear any more words. Ashwathama hata. These words were enough for him. He threw away his weapons. Came down from his chariot, sat on the ground, and went to Samadhi. In fact, he gave up his life. But still outwardly, Drishtadyumna, the son of Drupada, who is the king of Panchala and brother of Draupadi, he was in fact created to kill Dronacharya. The story is very old. It's an ongoing story. Mahabharata is an amazing thing, This story I have told more than once to the audience. Some of you may not have heard from me. But this Drona was the son of a Brahmana, very poor, and Drupada was a prince. Both of them were studying together under the same teacher, same Gurukula. And Drupada was a Kshatriya, son of a king, not very bright. And Drona was a Brahmana, very sharp, very bright. So Drona would help Drupada in his lessons, homework, etc. That's how Drupada also managed to pass through that. He also became graduate and Drona also became. So Drupada was highly obliged to Drona. They are two friends. They promised, so see, when I become king, I'll give you half of my kingdom. Okay? Both of them separated, went their own ways. Drona was a Brahmana, very proud Brahmana, would not, stretch his hand for asking for anything. But very poor. They have a son whose name is Ashwathama. Name is Krupi, sister of Krupacharya. This mother did not even have milk to feed to her child. So what she would do is she would mix wheat flour and milk and make some kind of mixture and present it as milk to this boy. He thought that he was drinking milk because his friends were drinking milk. He also wanted milk, and so he got this milk. One day he went to his friend's house and his friend's mother gave him real milk. Then he realized what milk was. He came to his mother and said, Mom, you're cheating me. You're not giving me milk. I want milk. Mother started weeping. He said, what should I do? Goes to her husband and says, look at this. We are so poor, we can't even give milk to a child. You must do something. Did you not tell me that Drupada was your friend and now he's the king of Panchala, king of the state of Panchala? Why don't you go to him, seek his help? She says, no, I won't seek anybody's help. Please go for the sake of the son. And he's persuaded to go to Drupada, to the kingdom of Panchala. Drupada is a king now, after many years. There is a court and Drupada is sitting on the throne, and this Dronacharya enters the court, goes before Drupada, introduces himself, that I am Drona. Which Drona? Don't you remember we were together in the Gurukulam? What Gurukulam? Who was together? You and I? Can't be together. He refuses to acknowledge him, insulted in front of everybody, and Drona left that court. But with a great anger and with a vow to revenge this. And time passes. Drona becomes the teacher of the Pandavas and Kauravas. What's the story? That Drona knew that he wanted to become their teacher. So he comes to that kingdom. The princes Pandavas and Kauravas are playing, their young children, playing with balls, something similar to some cricket kind of a thing they were playing. Ball is hit by somebody and falls in a well, in a dry well. Nobody to retrieve that ball, that this prince's children did not know what to do. They tried something, but they were not successful. In the meantime, this old Brahmana comes to Dronacharya. Says, what's the matter, children? So the ball has fallen down in the well. He says, okay, I will retrieve it. Says, here is my ring. See, I'm throwing in the well. I'll retrieve the ring as well as the ball if you want. Yes, we want. So Dronacharya was a great teacher of weaponry, art of weaponry. All kinds of divine weapons they knew. And they could produce a weapon by reciting a mantra. So he took a blade of grass in his hand and chanted a mantra, and through that, like an arrow, it went and pierced that ball which was at the bottom of the well. Took another blade of grass, like an arrow, it went and joined with the first blade of grass. One blade of grass, joined second, third, fourth, like that. A series of blades of grass were sent, became like a little rope, like a string, and he pulled out that ball, pulled out the ring. Children are all amazed at this. They ran to their grandfather Bhishma and said, hey, here is Brahmana, here is somebody who knows this weaponry. Bhishma realized he must be Drona. I called him and appointed as a teacher of this princess. He teaches Pandavas and Kauravas and many others also who learned from him, including, Drishtadyumna. Anyway, first then, he holds after the education is over, he has what do you call it, the ceremony of graduation ceremony, so convocation, where he displays what his children has learned before the public, and they are all amazed. Of them, Arjuna is the very best. At the end, all the children, you have to offer your Guru Dakshina, gift to your teacher. So when the time came for Arjuna, when he says, Sir, what Guru Dakshina can I offer you? He says, go to the kingdom of Panchala, fight with Drupada, defeat him, and bring him here. Arjuna goes, fights with Drupada, defeats him, brings him here, made him fall at the feet of Drona. Revenge. He insulted, Drupada is also insulted in front of everybody. His half kingdom is snatched away. He says, I am not killing you. I am giving you half the kingdom back. Go back. Half kingdom is taken away. Drupada goes back. Hurt, insulted and hurt and angry, with a vow to take the revenge. So he orders the performance of a yajna with an express desire to get a son who will kill Dronacharya. And from that yajna, 2 children come out, Draupadi and Drishtadyumna. Drishtadyumna is that prince. He goes to Dronacharya, understand first, learning the weaponry. Amazing, isn't it? Dronacharya knew that this boy is created to kill me, and still, in all generosity, teaches him. So Drishtadyumna is on the Pandava side because Draupadi is married to Pandavas. He is appointed commander-in-chief. Drishtadyumna is commander-in-chief of Pandavas. Bhishma is commander-in-chief of the Kauravas. Bhishma drops after 10 days. Then comes Dronacharya. I think his reign was perhaps 6 days or 8 days or something. 6 days. As I said, announcement, Ashwathama hataha, Ashwathama is killed, Ashwathama is killed. Dronacharya drops his weapons. Drishtadyumna goes and kills him. Very wrong thing to do, but he did it because that was his job. That's how Dronacharya is killed. Bhishma, Drona, Tata, that's how Bhishma and Drona are killed. Jayadratha Jala. This river is water of Jayadratha, the great warrior. Jayadratha. Also a friend of Duryodhana. And a great army with him. In course of this battle, the son of Arjuna, his name was Abhimanyu, just a 16-year-old boy, but, a great warrior. He's also fighting on the side of Pandavas. This Kaurava, Duryodhana decided to kill him. So he deliberately has a fight at some other front where Arjuna is led away, so Arjuna is not there. And there is a special formation of the army called Chakra Vyuha. Chakra means a discus. So he does some kind of a 7 rounds like that, So you have to pierce one by one, 7, then you can go into the center. Abhimanyu is a great warrior. Single-handedly, he pierces that. You see, he learned this art of piercing this from his grandmother. As this child was growing up as an infant, was an infant, in the womb. He was in the womb of his mother. At that time, this grandmother is describing this Chakra Vyuha to Arjuna, I guess. And this child in the womb hears that. But the mother could not finish the whole story. She could describe how to enter that, but did not describe how to come out. So this child knew how to enter that Chakravyuha, but did not know how to come out. When he goes in the center, he doesn't know how to come out. He's one, surrounded by all the warriors of the Kaurava army. and Jayadratha kills him. So Adharma Yuddha anyway. So this Jayadratha kills Abhimanyu. Here, Arjuna is told Abhimanyu is killed and he's in rage. He says, I'm going to kill Jayadratha today, before the sunset. So Duryodhana and Kauravas heard this vow of Arjuna that he's going to want to kill. If I don't kill him, I'll kill myself. Okay? You have to protect Jayadratha until sunset. Then Arjuna will be gone. So then Arjuna comes to the front, Lord Krishna driving his chariot. And Jayadratha is very well protected by all great warriors, and Arjuna is not able to kill him. So you know what Lord Krishna does? He creates, the sky becomes dark, like the sun is set. Sun is not set, but it creates an appearance, of some fog or something like that, by which people are deluded to believe that sun has set. So Duryodhana thinks that sun has set. He is very happy. So then there was no need to protect that Jayadratha because sun has set. Lord Krishna, Arjuna, kill Jayadratha. He says, no, but the sun is not set, I am telling you, you kill him. But again, this Jayadratha had a boon from some Rishi. It's a very complicated thing, That if somebody kills you and your head drops on the earth, whoever is responsible for your fall of the head on the earth, his head will be split in 1,000. So that way, if Arjuna kills Jayadratha, his head will be split in 1,000, he will be killed. So Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, you release an arrow in such a manner that the head of Jayadratha flies to the forest where his father is performing penance for the safety of his own son. Because the head should go, his father is in Samadhi, go and fall on his lap. He'll be disturbed. He'll get up. That's exactly what happens. The head falls on the lap of the father. Father disturbed from his Samadhi. He gets up. The head falls down on the earth. His father's head splits into 1,000. So Arjuna is saved. Jayadratha is killed. Jayadratha Jala. Jayadratha, big army, was like a river like water in the river of this battle. Gandhara Nilotpala. The king of Gandhara, who is Shakuni. Oh, he was a crooked fellow. So he like the Nila Utpalam is blue lily. He was like the blue lily. So this river is flowing. There are some parts of the river where the water is stagnant. And there these lilies grow. So in rivers also lilies grow. And they grow, and the roots, in fact, they spread such that sometimes they cover the whole water. You cannot cross. They may not be seen on the surface, but they are below the surface, and therefore you cannot cross. This Shakuni is like that. But he is not invincible. He was killed anyway, but still, he also played a very important role in, we will not go into that, but then, so what is it? Gandhara Nilotpala. Shalyagrahavati. Shalya is another king. You know who is Shalya? He is a maternal uncle of Pandavas. Shalya was the brother of Madri. Pandava's father was Pandu, he had two wives, Kunti and Madri. Shalya was a brother of Madri, therefore the maternal uncle of Pandavas. So when Pandavas and Kauravas have requested various kings to bring their army and join their side. Shalya is coming with a huge army to join Pandavas. But even as he is arriving on his way, the Duryodhana creates a great rest house for resting of Shalya on the way, and treats Shalya and his army so well that Shalya is obliged. And that's how Duryodhana was able to persuade him to join his army. The Shalya has come to join Pandava army, but he joins Kaurava army. He's a great warrior, a great charioteer. And after Bhishma is killed, or he fell, Drona is killed, who will be the new commander-in-chief? Shalya says to Duryodhana, you appoint me as commander-in-chief. He says, no, I will appoint Karna as commander-in-chief. Shalya does not like Karna. There's another history. Anyway, so the Karna also comes here. So not only Duryodhana does not appoint Shalya as the commander-in-chief, he appoints Karna as commander-in-chief, but asks Shalya to become his charioteer, because Shalya was also a good charioteer. These people knew many arts apart from the martial arts. They also knew other things, like Lord Krishna was an excellent charioteer, so also Shalya was an excellent charioteer, and the charioteer must be good in the battlefield, because he really manipulates and maneuvers the chariot in such a manner as to help his master he saves his master from the weapons by manipulating chariots. So charioteer has an important role to play, as Lord Krishna plays. So Shalya becomes a charioteer. But the fellow is hurt and insulted because Duryodhana did not appoint him as the commander-in-chief. And this Karna was not a Kshatriya, he was the son of a charioteer, etc. Another history will tell you. And so Shalya, because he is actually the paternal uncle of the Pandavas, therefore he ultimately wanted Pandavas to win. Therefore, the charioteer of Karna, he keeps on telling Karna such thing to insult Karna. He keeps on taunting Karna. Karna, you know whose son you are? You are a Kshatriya, the son of a charioteer. How do you know what is battle? What is weapon? You don't know. Disheartening Karna. When Karna would take a weapon, hey, this is a wrong weapon, you shouldn't take this, take the other weapon. So thus every time he insulted and interfered with Karna and disheartened him. This was Shalya. After Karna dies, he is appointed as the commander-in-chief, and he is also killed. Shalya Grahavati. The Shalya is the Graha, the shark in this river of battle. Krupena Vahani. Krupa is the force of the water. Karnena Velakula. Karna is its breakers of the river. All of these are obstacles for crossing by boat, crossing the river. So Karna has described the breakers. Karna also is invincible. In fact, in the show of the weapons, Karna proved himself to be even superior to Arjuna, but it was not acceptable to Dronacharya, the teacher. And therefore they said, hey, Karna is not qualified to compete with Pandavas because Karna is not a son of he is not a prince. Pandavas are princes, and therefore Karna is not qualified to compete with them. So Duryodhana says, I appoint him a prince. Right away he gives him the kingdom of Angadesh. And so anyway, but then that's how Karna has been insulted all along. Poor fellow. And everybody knows the story of Karna, how he was the son of Kunti. He was a Pandava, not a Kaurava, but the first son of Kunti. This Kunti is the daughter of Shurasena. And one sage, Durvasa, is visiting this kingdom. He stayed for 4 months. And this girl Kunti served him for 4 months with all sincerity and devotion. At the end of the 4 months, Durvasa is so pleased with this girl Kunti that he says, I am giving you a secret mantra. If you utter this mantra and think of any god, the god will come before you. And you can have son by that god. S-O-N, son. Okay, this girl is virgin. I mean, she's not married yet. But she's curious whether the thing works or not. So after the sage departs, she wants to try this mantra. So she utters this mantra and thinks of a sun, S-U-N, sun. And a bright, blazing flame comes to her and embraces her, etc. She's scared. So don't worry, you'll still remain a virgin, okay? Your virginity will not be disturbed, but you will have a son anyway. And so a son is born to her. And only her mother or stepmother, as a matter of fact, knows this. And she helps that this child is kept in a basket and left in the river, floating in the river. One river to the second river to the third river it goes, and finally I think goes finally to Yamuna or whatever, and then this basket is discovered by one charioteer. His name was Adhiratha. He's going to take bath in the river. He finds a beautiful child in that, brings him home, comes to his wife, whose name is Radha, and says, hey, no, they did not have a child, so I've got a child for you. They are so happy that they have a child. And thus this boy, who's really the prince, he grows up on the home of this charioteer. So it's called Sutaputra, the son of a charioteer, and insulted through and through. In fact, so this is Karna. But the poor fellow is unfortunate also. He is training from Dronacharya, but he wanted what they call Brahmastra, the weapon of Brahma, which is invincible. If you release that weapon, then it will do its job. He wanted to have the knowledge of Brahmastra. He requested his teacher Dronacharya to teach him that. Dronacharya says, no, I will not teach him. Then Karna has heard that Parshurama imparts. Parshurama has announced that he is giving away everything that he has to Brahmanas. So Karna goes to Parshurama. Parshurama says, I've given away everything. All my wealth is given away. Oh, I have a few weapons, that's all. So, that's what I want. So anyway, this Karna remains with Parshurama and learns all these weapons, posing as a Brahmana child. Understand? Parshurama thinks that he is a son of Brahmana, and therefore, otherwise, he would not give this knowledge to Kshatriya, he would only give knowledge to Brahmana, but Karna poses as a Brahmana, and therefore Parshurama is cheated. Gives this knowledge. One day, when Parshurama is tired, he is sleeping in the lap of Karna, sleeping, and a beetle comes. This beetle is also demon, that's another history of the beetle. But anyway, this beetle comes and lands on the thigh of Karna, upon which Parshurama's head is there, and starts piercing the thigh of Karna. It starts bleeding, blood flows, but Karna bears that excruciating pain, does not move his body or his thigh because his teacher should not be disturbed, he's sleeping. And that blood flows ultimately under the Parshurama, and he wakes up with this because he feels something wet. And he sees that blood is flowing from the thigh of his disciple, Karna. He says, hey, who are you? You cannot be a Brahmana. A Brahmana cannot suffer this pain. There is no way that a Brahmana can suffer this pain. You cannot be a Brahmana. Tell me, who are you? and he admits that he's not a Brahmana. Parashurama curses him, says, well, you got this Brahmastra knowledge, will not be available to you at the time when you want to use it. You will forget it. Poor Karna is unfortunate. On another occasion, this Karna has gone to forest for hunting, and he sees at a distance an animal, thinking that it's a deer. Shoots that animal, turns out to be a cow. It belonged to a Brahmana. And this Karna did not intend to kill the cow. The Brahmana comes to Karna and says, you killed my cow? I'm extremely sorry, I did not mean to do that. You have killed. I curse you. At the critical time, the wheel of a chariot will sink into the earth. See, when the wheel of the chariot sinks, the chariot cannot move, understand? If chariot cannot move, then the warrior there is ill, he's like a what do you call it, the easy target. Karna pleaded with the Brahmana, please, I did not mean that. Brahmana was unforgiving, and therefore this is another curse Karna had. Karna was the son of sun, was born with special gifts, was born with a, what do you call it? The armor on his body and earrings in his ear, divine armor and divine earring. And sun had blessed him. As long as the armor and the earrings are on your body, nobody can kill you. So Indra, Arjuna is son of Indra. Again, because Kunti was calling different devatas, at one point she called Indra also, and Arjuna was son of Indra. So Indra doesn't want that his son Arjuna should be killed. So he goes to a Karna in the guise of a Brahmana. The Karna is well known as a great, great man of charity. Today also, if you want to compare somebody with, generosity, he's called Daneshwari Karna. Most generous, charitable person, the history is Karna. There was an appointed hour during which anybody who comes to Karna will get whatever he wants. So Indra goes to Karna in the form of a Brahmana and says, I want your the armor and your earring. Karna says, okay, have it. And Indra very skillfully removes that with no bleeding, no injury at all to Karna. Indra is flabbergasted at this. How can you be so generous? How can you give this away? This is your life. He says, well, that's it. So Indra is so pleased with him. He says, you asked for something. He says, give me one weapon which will kill Arjuna. One weapon. He says, you can use it once, that's all. No more than once. It's okay. In course of battle of Mahabharata, Bhima's son Ghatotkacha, he was a mountainous demon. And he fights the battle. And looked like nobody from Kaurava army will be saved. There was no way of killing this Ghatotkacha. Ultimately, Karna had to use that weapon to kill Ghatotkacha, all by design. So now Karna is not left with a weapon. And then another weapon that is also given to Karna is called the Naga weapon, which also can kill. When he uses that weapon against Arjuna, Lord Krishna becomes very heavy, and Arjuna's chariot sinks in the ground by 6 inches. So that weapon, instead of killing he's, piercing his neck, pierces his crown, and Arjuna is saved, etc., etc. So this is how ultimately Karna's chariot, in the final battle between Karna and Arjuna, Karna's chariot sank into the ground. He had to get down to pull out that. Lord Krishna says, kill him. Hey, you cannot kill the person who is without weapons. He says, no. He deserves that. He's not without weapons. It's not that he has given a weapon, you have removed all the weapons, and therefore you can kill him. Somehow, some kind of a law Lord Krishna shows to Arjuna, and Karna is killed. One by one, in each one of them. Otherwise, nobody can be killed in a fair manner, I tell you. If Lord Krishna is not there on the side of Pandavas, there was no way that they could ever win this battle. Karnena velakula Ashwathama vikarana ghora makara. Ashwathama and vikarana are ghora makara. They are killer whales. So Shalya is a shark and Ashwathama and Vikarana. Vikarana is the younger brother of Duryodhana. They are the whales. Ashwathama also is a great warrior, invincible, and he was not killed. One of the few people who came out unkilled from Battle of Mahabharata. Ashwathama was one of them. But anyway, again, history about Ashwathama. That Ashwathama wanted Duryodhana to appoint him as the commander-in-chief. Duryodhana did not appoint him. And again Duryodhana comes late. Duryodhana Vartini. Duryodhana is the eldest of the Kauravas. Duryodhana and Bhimsena are both equal in Gadayuddha, in the battle of Mace. Both were equally powerful. You could not say who was stronger or who would win. So, Duryodhana learned this from his teacher Balarama, the elder brother of Lord Krishna. And both of them learned. Balarama knew that Duryodhana is more skilled. Bhima is stronger, but Duryodhana is more skilled. This is how it was. So when there is the battle between the two, nobody can tell who will win. Well, on the last day, ultimately, when Shalya also is killed, Duryodhana runs away from the battlefield and hides himself under the water. And Lord Krishna comes with Bhimsena, searching for this fellow. And Bhimsena challenges him. Duryodhana comes out. And they have this final fight of mace. But before that, something happens, again. See, this Mahabharata is an amazing thing. That Duryodhana's father was Dhritarashtra. He was born blind. And he is married to Gandhari. Shakuni is the brother of this Gandhari. So Gandhari also took the vow of not seeing, therefore she covered her eyes with blindfold for the whole of her life, because her husband was blind. Because of his penance, she had a lot of powers with her. Now everybody is killed in Mahabharata. Duryodhana is still not killed. Somebody told Duryodhana, look, if you go to your mother, ask your mother to remove her blindfold and see you. If she sees you, your body will become like that of diamond, Vajra. Nobody can kill you. Your body will be invincible if your mother sees you. So Duryodhana goes to his mother naked, naturally, because he wanted the body should not be covered. Then Lord Krishna comes in and says, hey, you can't go to your mother naked. You should wear something at least. Some kaupiya you should wear. He persuaded him. So one underwear Duryodhana wore. And his mother opened this and embraced him. His whole body turned the body of Vajra, except that portion, which was invincible, otherwise was invincible. So now in the final battle between Bhimsena and Arjuna, Duryodhana, the battle of maces, Bhimsena is not able to, defeat Duryodhana. Lord Krishna is watching from a distance. Tell Bhimsena, he shows the thigh. Hit him. You can't hit him. You cannot hit him below the belt, really. It's not right. Lord Krishna hit him. And Duryodhana is in because his body has become invincible, but this is one portion that is not. Lord Krishna asked Bhimsena to do that. He hits him and Duryodhana falls. That's how Duryodhana is. Ultimately, he doesn't die right away, dies in course of time with great pain. So Duryodhana Vartini. Duryodhana is the whirlpool in the river. See, all of these are obstacles for crossing the river. Ashwathama Vikarana Ghora Makara. So Duryodhana is fallen. Ashwathama comes to him. Duryodhana says, I appoint you as my commander-in-chief. Nobody is left. 3 fellows are left. Ashwathama and 2 other warriors are left. And he goes with them at night and kills everybody when they are sleeping. He goes to Drishtadyumna and kills him, and kills also the many warriors, including all the 5 Pandavas. He kills at night, also wrong thing to do. Comes back and says to Duryodhana, kill them all. So what did you do? You killed Pandavas? Oh boy, that means there will be nobody now, there is no successor left in the whole clan. You should not have done it. I have done it. It turned out that they were not Pandavas, they were sons of Pandavas who looked like Pandavas, and then, so Pandavas were saved anyway. And so Arjuna had his son, Abhimanyu, who is killed, but his wife was pregnant, and Ashwathama, out of rage, sends the Brahmastra and kills that little womb, the fetus in the womb of Uttara. Lord Krishna enters that womb and revives that child. That's how Parikshit is born. So the race of Pandavas also and Kauravas also continued only because of Lord Krishna who saved that child. Draupadi, so then Arjuna goes and brings the Ashwathama and robs him. Here it is a divine, jewel on his head. He's robbed of that jewel, and Ashwathama is not killed, but essentially killed, as good as killed. What happened is, when 5 Pandavas are killed, Pandavas' children, Draupadi, whose mother, is so angry. He says, bring Ashwathama. I want him to see him dead. So Arjuna goes and gets Ashwathama before Draupadi and is ready to kill him. He says, oh, don't kill him. Draupadi takes pity on Ashwathama. So this is where this thing ends. This business, it started with Drupada and Drona. So Drupada insults Drona, Drona insults Drupada, Drupada has a son, Drishtadyumna, who kills Drona, then Ashwathama kills Drishtadyumna and kills the 5 sons of Pandavas, and now his turn to be killed. Draupadi says, oh, Ashwathama also is a son of a mother. No, please don't kill him. Arjuna has taken a vow to kill him. So again Lord Krishna comes to their help. Say, well, if you rob away that jewel from his head, it is as good as killing him. So taken away the jewel, Ashwathama is sent away. Again he sends Brahmastra to kill that fetus. Ashwathama was a very cruel person. But anyway, Ashwathama, Vikarana, Ghora Makara, Duryodhana, Vartini. Duryodhana is the whirlpool. All these warriors are killed because of Lord Krishna. Swamiji, you are teaching us all the values, and look at what Lord Krishna does in Mahabharata. Dharma samsthapanarthaya. He is born to establish dharma, and he has violated dharma all this time during the battle. What is this? Has Lord Krishna violated dharma? Yes and no. If you look at the rules of battle, maybe he has violated. But if you look at the purpose of dharma is ultimately for a paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam. The role of Lord Krishna is to protect the good and destroy the wicked. So all wicked are destroyed. In that sense, it is dharma. Also understand that all these people were blessed in one way or the other, that they would die only under certain conditions, otherwise they would not die. So Lord Krishna is a God. He is karma phaladata, dispenser of the result of the actions of these people. They are all demons, born as all these warriors. Is that karma that kills them? But somebody will create the conditions when they will be killed. Lord Krishna created conditions when they were killed. As karma phaladata, he just created conditions for them to meet their destiny. In that sense also, he just performed his role as karma phaladata. So, Lord Krishna never violated dharma. In fact, there is another story. When that fetus, not another story, but the continuation of the story is when that fetus is killed by the Brahmastra of Ashwatthama in the womb of Uttara. They said Lord Krishna revived that child. Lord Krishna takes a vow. If during the 18 days of the battle of Mahabharata, I was never partial to anybody. Although he was on the side of Pandavas and looked like he was partial to Pandavas, but he says, if I was impartial, never partial to Pandavas or Kauravas, then may this child regain the life. The child did, which means that Lord Krishna was not partial to anybody. Even though he acted as he did, he had to, but as far as he himself was concerned, was impartial to them. Meaning that he did not violate any dharma, even during the battle of Mahabharata. Sotirna khalu pandavehi rananadi kaivartakah keshava. This rananadi, this battle of, the river of battle was crossed by Pandava because Lord Krishna was the boatman. As far as we are concerned, the samsara is also like a river. What is samsara? The repeated cycle of birth and death. The grief and the misery that is there in the human life is called samsara. It is endless. Unless the ignorance goes, unless the knowledge comes. And there also, Lord Krishna alone can, through his teaching, can impart the knowledge to us and help us cross this river of samsara. So we can cross the river of samsara also if the boatman is Lord Krishna. Just as Arjuna and Pandava surrendered to Lord Krishna, if we also surrender to Lord Krishna, he becomes our boatman. He becomes our charioteer, becomes our boatman. Then only we can cross this ocean of samsara. There is also the lesson that we have to learn from this description. Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.